Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to more GT4. So, let's get the show on the road. Let's continue the World Championship. Yes, I wish to continue Race 7, which is Monaco, aka Côte d'Azur. So, my notes say that I'm to be in... My notes say that I am to be in transmission level 10. Okay, that's not 10. Is this 10? That's 11, which is, why do I have that 11? Oh, that's for Infineon. Okay, here we are. Hey, Gabriel. Good to see you this afternoon. And as you can see, 78 laps. So it's literally the Monaco Endurance from GT3, or more appropriately, the final race in the World Championship from 3. Though this shouldn't take as long if I'm going to do B-Spec at any point. Though I'm not sure if I will. Get out of the way, Mr. Blue. I will shove your ass into the wall. Which doesn't seem to do a whole lot. Alright, I can make it back to first. Are very crowded, as you can see. Get out of the way. Ah, fuck. They just do not react to bullying, it seems, so yeah, we can't be doing that. Trouble with Space Memories Reds. I haven't tried going for the Reds yet, but I know where like 5 or 6 are offhand. I haven't actually recorded the next segment. But I did find all the other stars really, really quickly. I found the one where you're intended to use the vanish cap, go through the fire, and then, like, wall jump up the chimney, even though you could easily just fly to it. From the tower, or the castle, or whatever it is with the cannon on it. The one on the top of the tower that you could fly to, and the one that's just hidden behind the mountain. I found all those without a guide. And then the reds are pretty simple, it seems. Like, comparatively, it seems like that might be the easiest stage in the hack thus far. Get out of the way, yellow. This race could be between hour 45 and 2 hours. Yep. That's what I remember it being in GT3 as well. Remember nothing about C9, only the Majora's Mask. Yeah, pretty much. I remember the first E section to collect the first star, but that's it. Keep in mind, I only played about half of Night of Doom when I was 10 years younger. Also, I don't think any percent actually goes for anything in Course 9, though I might be wrong. If I am, feel free to correct me. But I do know that speedruns... I've said this before, but I do know speedruns go for everything in Course 10, because it can be done really quickly. They complete say C8 and go for 10, and except for the reds. Yeah, that's what I think too. Hello, Les67224. Hi there. Good to see you this afternoon. Four stars in C9 can be really quick, but the secrets in reds are longer, and you have terrible coin on invisible floor. Am I playing on PS2? Yeah, I'm playing this on real hardware. No emulator used. Okay, in Star 6 you need to have the star selected. Okay, that's good to know. You may want to remind me on Discord, just in case I forget. So I kind of want to make a pit stop, but I don't know if the AI will do that as well. Gran Turismo 4 for use #1. It seems, yeah, it's that way for me as well at the moment. Keep in mind, I didn't actually grow up with this. I grew up playing 3 when I was younger, though. but you're doing emulator. You have to finish extreme and all the long time races. By long time, I assume you mean the endurance races? There's definitely one huge advantage of playing on emulator for sure, and that is not needing to sit through the waiting time for the one lap magics every time. Particularly for missions, I think it's 26, the Honda one, and mission 34. Also, I could definitely feel my car slipping and sliding, so I think I'm going to need to make a pit stop. The AI probably won't have to. Fuck. Okay. This is going to be tricky, because the AI doesn't have to pit. Like, ever. San Andreas PS2 Classics or PS4. Is it available for PS2 Classics? I didn't know it was. I thought it was just the crappy HD remaster. Okay, so I'm definitely at a disadvantage because, like, the AI is not affected by tire wear like I am. Though, if they make a pit stop this lap, then I should be okay. Because they'll be refueling every lap, and I won't be refueling every lap. Or, I mean, not every lap, every, pit stop. Goddamn, I don't think I'm going to win this race because they just never pit stop, apparently. Meanwhile, my back tires are already warmed up too much. So, am I just going to have to drive with bad tires? The AI is always going to go 1 or 2 rounds later. I assume you mean laps. But yeah, that's what I'm noticing too. Though, ironically, at Lasarth, I was the one going longer without pitting. So let me think here. Okay, so they do 9. And because I'm using an F1, I can't just get harder tires. I would love to get harder tires for this race. Probably pit 8 times in the entire race. Yeah, that's what my math comes down to as well. 9, 18, 27, etc. up until 72. And if I do every 6 laps, that's 12 times. So that's unacceptable. That's an extra roughly 2 minutes. But then again, as I said, they refuel every time. I don't. That gives me a massive speed boost and helps with tire durability. So... like, it's like the first cycle is the hardest for that. For this vehicle, anyway. Always better to do just enough to make it a whole cycle and then go. Keep in mind, when I was setting the transmission, I was not factoring the extra fuel speed from the lack of fuel, nor was I factoring in slipstream, because there's no reason to factor in slipstream. So yeah, as you see, my tires are only yellow now, where they were red at lap 6. I think I'm going to make a pit stop. It's debating whether or not I want to, but I think it'd be best to do that. Come on, turn. There we go. And no fuel. All right. Don't have interest in playing, trying C8 gold. What the hell, C8 gold? Are you talking about Knight of Doom? S8 gold. Oh god, no. Oh god, no. I assume you mean GT3, right? Because we're on Monaco. Yeah, I have absolutely no desire for that. I was gone way too fast. TPL, I remember in TPL Motorsports run, he wrote in his description for the all gold S license video that this took him 3 hours to do. And he's a much better player than I am. I make turns way too early. PAL version? The PAL version times are more strict than the NTSC times. At least for passing. I'm pretty sure the gold times are also harder to get. But I think the PAL versions run at a different speed than NTSC as well. So that I don't know how much harder it is. Ironically, because of how much easier Mission 34 is on PAL compared to NTSC. That slipstream. Yeah. How dare you? Don't push me. Oh, do they not refuel? I was always under the impression they did. Okay. Before the Sauber Showdown, when the race is off screen for the 100%. No, I think I'll do it on screen just to show the fanfare. Worst case scenario, if like I'll try the races off screen, and if I can't win, I'll just win the last races normally with the F1 and then dedicate a separate stream to the Sauber. I should still be able to win. I think El Capitan would be the hardest of the three. Fuji will be by far the easiest, since there's a straightaway. Sauber has vastly improved acceleration and top speed during the straight. Also, I can equip harder tires than the AI, so I don't have to go as long without pitting. Yeah. Or I can go long. You know what I mean. I can go longer without pitting, sorry. Oh, so make a pit stop on this lap, or at the end of this lap, and then I don't know if I want to get fuel or not. I'm thinking we do not. I'll be riding it on empty by the next cycle, but that's a good thing. You want to ride it on empty by the end of your cycle. Okay, let's not do fuel. If I knew my front tires could last one more cycle, I would not change them, but I'm too worried that they would blow out. Or I should say get to red. What are the next two races? Soul and Infineon, I think. Soul should be pretty trivial. It's just a couple straightaways with like 3 turns in the whole track. Actually 4, now that I think about it. Alright, you know what? Actually, I'm going to try one more lap. Let's try one more lap. If it comes back to bite me, then so be it. I'm going to give it one more good attempt. Oh boy, that may have been a mistake. That may have been a mistake. Because I can feel the slide. Oh man. Oh man. Ooh. Okay, that was... Yeah, that was a mistake. Yeah, that was definitely a mistake. I should have made a pit stop in the previous lap. Go. Okay. Oh, and yeah, we do need fuel, actually. Okay, go up to about, let's do 34, yeah, 34 fuel sounds good. Next shotgun stream will be RE2. Yeah, it'll be Leon B. I have an order to do the shotgun streams. Yeah. Yeah, they'll be in order. RE2, GoldenEye, RE3, Perfect Dark, and then if I feel like it, New Game Plus, RE4. New Game Plus, RE4, and Mario 64 shotgun mode. Whatever that hack is called. RE5 without infinite ammo? Nah. I don't really care for doing challenge runs in RE5 without infinite ammo. Maybe the no merchant equivalent, but that's about it. If memory serves me correctly, the knife is almost worthless in RE5. Get out of the way there, Silver. on. Also, was I supposed to have made a pit? I think I may have... I think I may have missed my timing there. I might have... I might have been supposed to make... I don't know how to word this. I probably should have made a pit stop in the previous lap. There. Though I will admit, my tire wear is not as bad as it was. Definitely need to make a pit stop this time, though. Okay. Get a little more fuel. Will I try and finish Shotgun Mario with 50/70 stars? No way. I'll go for all 120. Alright, let's just do 32. Drop frames thus far, which is good. Where else can you see frame drops? Yeah, you can see it on OBS. OBS does tell you if there's a problem like that on stream. But I do have to look over and see it. And it does play a little sound whenever, like, if there's weird connection issues, it will play a sound. At least on Windows 10. Come on. I think PD could take 2 streams to finish. I would need to practice Perfect Dark in general, but if I practiced it, I might be able to do 1. Also, I don't know how... Like, I would definitely try lower difficulties first. Particularly Carrington Villa, because Perfect Agent is completely different from Agent and Special Agent. And I don't know if that's actually possible with a shotgun, because I don't know if my shotgun flax can hit the negotiator hostages, or I shouldn't say hostages. The people that are going to kill the negotiator. I also don't know if I can hit the snipers. So if I can't hit the snipers, then I can't beat the mission. Let's get some fuel. We're not going to get a whole lot of fuel. We're only going to get like maybe 25. Actually, let's go up to 28. There, or 27, that's fine. That had to come at the worst time. Stupid sneeze. Alright, so he's making a pit stop. I should be able to blow right by him and go pretty far ahead. So I think for this stream... I'll have more reliance on Bob. Because today's actually my wedding anniversary, and I don't know what the missus and I might want to get up to later. And it is kind of late right now. By late, I mean 5 p.m. It's not that late, but these do not take a short time to do, these races, so I will be using B-Spec more frequently in this stream than the previous two and the next two. Although, once I go into B-Spec here, I can check. And, now that I got that...
It's a new lap record!
Gotta play that. That'll probably be the only one I get this stream. Or, well, this lap, I should say. That was a terrible entry into that turn. That was abysmal. You know, thank you, Gabriel, for the happy anniversary wishes. One more lap and then we'll let Bob take over. He should be able to do everything on fast. At least. But I will monitor this to make sure he can... Or make sure he doesn't, like, fall behind. You did half the championship and Bob did the other half for your run? Ah, I see. I would do that if I wasn't streaming this, but... Like, seeing the B-Spec screen is not exactly the most engaging thing to watch. You lap everyone, the race is basically over. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm seeing as well thus far. Although I don't think I can do that on Nürburgring, can I? Because the laps are just too long. Alright. Take over, Bob. And, like, I don't care that much about grinding this for 60 points. Let's go... Let's do 25 fuel. Alright, let's see. Can you do fast? Actually, let's see. Can you do push? There's one bad thing about Bob, and that is that he does not like to make pit stops for tire wear unless they are beet red. Oh, never mind, never mind. I thought for a moment he did a 109 lap. Okay, Bob's got this. So I'm going to check. I'm going to check on my wife, see what she's up to. So I'll be... Okay. Probably stay 4 minutes ahead of the others. Yeah, that... Yeah, I wouldn't be too surprised. So, at the moment, she's just sort of doing her own thing. So I'm not in a big rush to finish the stream or anything, but I have no objection to letting Bob do the rest of this race because, seriously, I've already won. Like, this event here is way harder in GT3 from when I did it. Although, I did not use the best F1 car in the game for this event. I used the 094H off screen. The 094S is infinitely better. But you know, it does seem like in general, it seems like in general though, the AI in GT4 is a lot more forgiving than in 3. For the well, at least for the quote-unquote professional events. Also, my fat ass almost sat on my headset, and that would have been no good. Oh, and set him to overtake, or else he'll just dilly-dally behind the AIs, and that's no good. He did 8 laps without needing a pit stop. Although, as I said, his tires will go to complete and utter destruction before he refuels. Yes. Refueling a little more than usual this time. Just so I don't have to refuel on lap 73. Will I use other weapons if necessary? Oh yeah, I'll use other weapons if necessary. Because, like, I do have to KO some people instead of killing them outright. Like, knocking out Cassandra in, it's not Infiltration. What the fuck's that stage called? Defection, I think. Yeah. Like knocking out Cassandra in Defection. And not being allowed to kill the guards in Airbase. Ditto to, well, I was gonna say ditto to Air Force One, but you only knock out one dude. So yeah, I'll use other weapons if I have to. And in response to your comment of defense, keep in mind, I don't have to actually use the RCP 90. Or, not 90, it's 120. I don't have to use it. I just have to pick it up. Although I don't know how feasible defense will be in general, because those enemy shields are pretty durable, and I can't let more than, like, 2 hostages die on perfect agents, so it may not be possible to beat that one. And as for Scatter Ruins, there is that one trick you can do where you hug the side of the cliff and then you just sort of up warp to where you're supposed to go, like behind the destructible wall. So I don't need to actually blow up the wall. I just can't use the Devastator. Or let me rephrase that. I can't run out of Devastator grenades. Which, I mean, I showed that in my, Some Ways to Fail Missions video. It's so stupid that you can... that you can do the exploit after running out of, grenades, kill the Scatter King, get the cutscene, and then get a mission failure anyway, just because you didn't blow up the wall. It's so dumb. And before you ask, am I gonna cheese G5? You better believe I'm gonna cheese G5. Alright. No fuel. What FF games are open world RPG? I think all of them except for 10. I think all of them except for 10 and 10-2 and the 13 trilogy. At least from what I could see. I say this having played 5 and 9. Can you do shotgun only? With infinite ammo. With infinite ammo, you could. I don't think it would be particularly interesting, though. Also, I don't like 6. As most people don't like 6. Plus, like, each campaign just goes on way too goddamn long. Especially Chris's campaign. Alright, and Bob finished it. What was the race time? 1 hour 48. If I was racing, it might have been 1 hour 47 something, so... Okay, how many points does everyone have? Wow, I'm 40 points ahead of everyone? 40 plus? Jeez. So, you know, if they do really shit, and I'm somehow 60 points ahead of everyone, which I don't think is mathematically possible, then I could just end the tournament this stream. Although the third place guy would have to be at last place for every other race. But then the position 4 and 5 would also have to do really bad. So, yeah, it's unlikely. Anyway, next race. So, Seoul is the next one, according to my notes. 113 laps. It's easy. Alright, I'm going to up this to 12, because I'll use this for Twin Ring Motegi next time. And this is 15... 16. Okay, I'll lower that to 15. For both here and Nürburgring. And then this is for Infineon and Laguna Seca. Okay. So, set B. Alright. Here I might go 2 laps ahead of the AI before I let Bob take over. Because it's Seoul, and Seoul is easy. Get out of the way. Yeah, because these laps only take, what, 50 seconds tops? I mean, this one took longer because it's first lap. Goodbye, yellow. 45 seconds a lap. This will be done in like 80 minutes in total. Well, race time total. That's my fault. I hit the brakes way too late. I think I will actually get 2 laps ahead of the AI before I let Bob take over, because the laps are so short. I was never able to hit this brake line in practice, like this one here. This week only one NOD upload? Yeah, only one, because I was really behind this week, and as I titled it in the video, that was a low effort upload. Next upload will be better. Although, I would appreciate if you can send me Course 9 things, since my memory of that stage is, like, non-existent. Course 10 you could skip. I'll just watch a speed run for that. And also, I don't know if there's really many skips you can do in Course 10. huge total green tower reds. I'm not sure. That's the one with the absolute dog shit camera, isn't it? I feel I might have more trouble with the underwater star. That one's hidden numbers, isn't it? Way too hard into that turn. Numbers are only on... Oh, it's only the red tower. With also a terrible camera. Okay. What was the blue tower then? Is that red coins also? Or is that just a star at the bottom of the maze? Also, if I can clip through the grating, I'm absolutely clipping through the grating. Tower is only 1 star, bottom of the room. Okay. You just swim to the bottom. I will definitely check out a speedrun. Like probably the world record. To see if that's possible. Course 15 reds is the hardest with a good difference compared to second place. Yeah, I think Moplop64 may have said the same thing as well. Either that or he said that course 15 is the hardest course by a wide margin. One of the two. Although, Bowser 3 Reds, I know you could do massive skips for that. Skips made the star way more feasible. Didn't you say that star's only been collected like once or twice the intended way? Ah, you need to reclimb a bunch of times. Okay. Yeah, I see then. And obviously having a wing cap certainly helps. Arch of the Heave-Ho is the hardest part of the star. Come on, get out of the wall. Is that the one right before the no way jump? I remember that only because of no way. When Frame Perfection climbed up this was before quicksand ledge grabbing was discovered. He climbed up the side with the death sand and he started screaming, "No way!" And he's literally screeching, "No way!" And that's been featured on various speedrun rage compilations / salt in speedrunning. Load the save state. I don't think it was that run, although it may have been. I know there was definitely a run where in Bowser 3 he loaded save state and invalidated his run, but I forget if... It wasn't at that particular moment, though. I do know that much. Hell yeah.
It's a new lap record.
Let us proceed. We've almost lapped them. We'll do, yeah, like I said, we'll lap everyone twice. Whoa, 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 whoa. Not sure why that happened, but okay. When did, is anyone paying attention? When did I make my first pit stop? Was it lap 14, 15? I don't remember. It was 16, okay. So I was gonna say, like, I knew that, I know the lower fuel made a difference, but I didn't think it would make that much of a difference for tire wear. Also, oh, not quite. Not quite a new lap record. And Banjo-Tooie's bigger, more Banjo-Tooie being bigger and more complex, we better do an LP instead of stream? I would think so. Because with an LP, I'm less likely to get people backseating and be like, "Oh, you're doing this wrong. You need to do blah 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 blah." Or at least with an LP, I can just sit in my chair and figure out what I'm supposed to do, as opposed to, or I could just go somewhere else rather than have someone trying to tell me how to play the game. If only that was downloadable on XBLA. Obviously here I'm just going as long as possible without making a pit stop. Get out of my way. We are going to refuel more this time. 43 is a good enough number for that, I think. other racers should probably be making a pit stop before too long, I'm thinking. Ah, fuck. Some point, well, I was gonna say at some point I might want to get a new F1, but no. Watch videos about Cat 789. I actually checked his channel earlier today. Last videos about, did I watch his last videos for RA? No, I haven't. I did see he was doing a Pokemon hack for retro achievements, but I didn't watch any of them. Oh, now it's orange in the lead. Well, not in the lead, but second place. I feel like I have really shit timing there for those two turns. So once I have to make a pit stop on, I'm going to try for lap 50. I guess Bob can take the over from here. I know some people are not going to like my my usage of Bob in this stream, but oh well. You know what? I think I can do one more lap. Yeah, let's try one more lap. One more lap. stop. Alright, Bob, take over. I'm gonna refuel more. Let's go up to about... there, 55. I have no idea how much gas Bob is gonna use, since his tires do not wear out quickly, like it does for me. Actually, let's see. How do you handle this? You should handle it well. Okay. Okay, cool deal. Bob's got it. Bob the Builder, yeah. More like Bob the Racer. Also, well... okay. I was worried about that 49 seconds, but then again, he was coming out of a pit stop, so he was at a disadvantage. I feel like he's doing really slow on that one turn. Yeah, I feel like he really fucked up there. Let's have a look. Okay, that one he did not fuck up. Maybe it's because there was another car nearby, because he does not like the B-Spec driver does not like to ram into other racers, if possible. Nice! 44.9. What was my best? 43.4, okay. Okay, so at this rate, Mr. Blue is going to be getting second place, so I don't think I could skip the rest. Bob the Cooker, there you go. Oh, that was very rough. That was a very rough execution there. Let's see, can you push? Can you pass? Don't hit the wall. Okay. So, like, stuff like this is exactly why I say that he does better when you're actively watching him. Because, like, he never seems to, like, every once in a while he'll make mistakes and, like, he'll slam into a wall. It doesn't seem like he does that as often if you actively watch him. But that could just be a placebo as well. So at this rate, it looks like a pit stop's going to be made on lap 70. Unless he decides to go all the way to total destruction of that tire before he pits. Oh. I saw that. He hit the wall. Okay. We'll keep doing B-Spec. Alright, good night. Thanks for stopping in. Yeah, actually, yeah, 58's a little much. So let's see, if he does every 19 laps, it'll be 90 and then 109. Oh, wait. Whoops. So Mr. Blue is going to finish second, it looks like. Or third, I mean. And once I get done with Infineon, damn it. Okay, I'm going to watch him. Anyway. After Infineon, I might just save the game and skip the rest of the races and see if I can win the tournament. Assuming that whoever's in third place in the tournament doesn't have too many points. Like, if there's multiple people with 30 plus points, it won't work. There's not much to say here. We're just letting him do all the work. And if we pit stop on lap 109, we won't be getting any gas. Check Mario Kart amped up hack. No. I didn't know that was a thing. I assume that's a ROM hack for Mario Kart 64, right? Blue Hedgehog Man may have played that. I know he did a ROM hack of... Pardon me. I know he did a ROM hack of Mario Kart 64 a while back, but I don't know what it was called. I never actually played the base Mario Kart 64. That's something I should get around to doing at some point. Though I'm not sure if it's good to play that on a keyboard. Actually, it'd probably be fine. Because I do know there are people who play Star Wars Racer with a keyboard. And those people are few and far between, of course, but I do know that there are some people who do Star Wars Racer with a keyboard. I think someone tried using a driving wheel with that game in a tournament, and they didn't do so well. Which is no surprise to me. What is the worst type of game to play on a keyboard? Games that require very specific movement and very specific inputs. At least for emulator. On PC, it's not as bad. Like, if it's explicitly made for PC, but I assume you mean for emulator purposes. Games that require tons of precise movement and such. It's like, if it's something, like if you need to do something that requires just a very light touch of a D-pad or a joystick, actually I should say joystick, then like you can't really do that on a keyboard. So and we're definitely not watching the replay. Okay. So next up is Infineon. It'll be the last race of this stream. Switch over to, I think it's 3. Set C. Yeah. 11 and oops. 11. Okay, yep. Can't win the championship this stream anymore. I don't think so. I think the chances of that are too far gone. Unless I do one more race, but then it would fuck with me doing 3 races per stream. Which I knew it was a long shot in the dark anyway. So I have no problem with needing to do one more stream to win the championship. I mean, I planned on it anyway, so. But I will test just to make sure. Well, by test, I mean see how many points every racer has at the end of this race. But if there's like 2 or 3 racers with 30 plus points, then there's no chance. And I know I could do some race manipulation, where like I could bash some racers off the road and then end the race, because then I'll screw them out of points. Whatever position they are when I hit exit race will be the position they finish the race. But if I'm gonna do that for multiple racers, like, I'd rather just actually play the game rather than doing garbage like that. Especially given I'm 100, like, I'm gonna win every race anyway on stream at some point. Oh, goddamn. Get... Okay. So this would take like an hour 45, I think. Because the 2:45 endurance, I remember that one. The 2-hour 45 one, I think I did 120 with the 787. I believe that's about what Bob did too when I was getting caught back up. So here we'll definitely do one lap ahead of the AI, since it seems like they can actually race pretty well here. Oh my god. This is not the easiest track to do well in. Whoa. Okay, cool. time of day do I plan to do tomorrow's stream? Probably a good question. What works best for you? Like late morning or afternoon? Because I don't have anything planned at the moment, so any time would do. If I do this late, I'll just, I'll do most, if not entirely, A-Spec, though. Okay, I think it's time to make a pit stop. Afternoon is better? Okay. Like, 2 p.m. or, like, same time as today? Whoa. Like I said, I can do either or. .93 drop frames, apparently. Which is like nothing. Come on, hurry up, guys. .2 p.m. is fine. But if you cannot do this time, you can do the same time as today. Okay. I will aim for that, then. Get out of the way, yellow. This guy's gonna be the second place guy, I think, for most of the races. Yeah, let's not try and push him into the pits. I was thinking of trying that, but if I do that, I'll probably end up in the pit myself. And that will benefit no one. think this one could be hard or just the beginning. This race, it's just the start. I mean, full tank of fuel, plus the fact that this is one of the harder races for me to do well in. Although the F1 is super duper good at these turns. I think it's just the beginning. God damn it. That is one of the hardest turns. Sec. I will read that once I make a pit stop. Actually, I can read it right now. Corrupted. I like this game 100%. Or because you can let Bob do most of the stuff. Start the game again after the corrupted. It's mostly... It's both. Both because I wanted to 100% on stream, and also because Bob can do a lot of stuff. Like, if I had to do, like, if I had to actually do the 24-hour Nürburgring again myself, for example, then I would just not do it right now. And also, yeah, I don't like leaving projects unfinished. You need to do stuff, Ken said, Bob. I would have gave up. Yeah, I would have gave up. Because, like, it's not just the 24-hour Nürburgring. I also would have had to do the other timed endurances and the other endurances where you have to go X number of laps. Like, yeah, why would I want to do all that again? It's like, as much as I enjoy playing this, I would not want to, like, I do not enjoy this game enough to 100% it twice on my own in 6 months. Because there's a lot of stuff to do. One more cycle with no fuel. There we go. There we go. God damn this turn. I suck at it. God damn, get on the road. Dude, get on the road. Took 200 hours. That doesn't surprise me. That does not surprise me. That's probably about how long I've spent on my first playthrough. Although I did also do some B-spec grinding. I don't know if you did B-spec grinding yourself. Like, by which I mean redoing races just for the sake of building him up. You did a little... Because you were afraid Bob wouldn't be able to do the 24-hour Le Mans. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think he would either with minimal / no grinding. And obviously I wouldn't risk that either. Oh, fuck you. I was fully expecting a new lap record there. That's so unfair, dude. I still might want to do more of this because... Like, I'll lap him, but as soon as I make the pit stop, I won't be a lap ahead anymore. You don't think that letting Bob do it alone will boost his B-spec points? It depends on how much he's driven the respective car type he's driving. Like, for the Mazda Roadster Endurance, for example, like, you're more than likely... Bob is more than likely going to have driven those types of vehicles before, but... So, like, the B-spec points won't increase that much. But, like, I did in my first playthrough, I had him do the Nürburgring 24-hour endurance off screen, and he went from like 5,000 up to 6,200 or so. I think it was close to 6,300. And then when I had him do, I forget which European event it was, with the Pagani, he went from like 7,000 to 8,000 points. Because the Pagani counts as a touring car, not as a LMP. Let's do one more lap. I think one more lap is fine. So, for this race, the fuel didn't make much of a difference. 34, that's good. Alright, so one more cycle and then we'll let Bob do the rest. Come on, turn, damn it. Come on, turn, 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 turn. Oh my god. Fuck. Get on the goddamn road. It's the first half of this race that I'm inconsistent at best on. Well, first half of the track. This part's easy. Yeah, get in this. Come on, get off. Prefer this or the other Infineon track. This one's more rewarding to race on. The other one's just boring. So I do prefer this one to race on. Even if the other one's a lot easier. Come on, there we go, there we go. Get out of here. Get out of here, yellow. Or, you're not even yellow, you're like puke green. I hate that turn. Fuck. Finally, he made a pit stop. Alright, so it'll be time for B-Spec once I'm done with this lap. Alright, B-Spec. Farm B-Spec points more than on the first playthrough? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I definitely did, because there were some things I refused to do. I mean, I did A-Spec when I had to. Obviously. But I wanted to do as little as possible. I wanted to do as absolutely little as possible in this run. Alright, let's see. Can you go to push, Bob? And I also raced with a different variety of vehicles, too. Like, more so than the first playthrough. Though I did not farm the family cups this time. But I also knew to race with as few upgrades as possible, since that improves the counter more. Ooh, I think Bob went a little too wide on that turn. Alright, let's see. What do you do here? That's not so bad. You lose I mean, he loses a little control, but not that much. Like, I do way worse, so... Oh, but what the fuck you doing? Yeah, that's not cool. You can't have that happening. Yeah, he didn't make the same mistake twice, because I watched him, I feel. Sauber Showdown will be done after 100% or later. I'll try and knock it off with the 100%. I told you, I want to do... Like, once I win this tournament... I want to do the last 3 races with it. Individually. If possible. If not, I'll just do it after the 100%. No big deal. For some reason, Bob's front tires are wearing out faster than the rear tires. I can't begin to explain that myself. Alright, let's see. Are you gonna... I did, yeah, I did select fuel. Let's just do fast. Let's see how fast he goes with fast instead of push. Okay, 116. Is that faster or slower than the AIs? I think it's faster. $114, okay. Yeah, we're still fine. And also, there's probably no chance of him making a mistake on that one turn. Just a touch of fuel. We don't need much. We only need about 33-ish. Okay, I got 34. Close enough. Alright. So we'll do pit stop on lap 60... Is it 60? Oh no. Technically 59 and 68. Yeah, I tested all of them. I tested every single track. I did even test the last 3 races in the event before having the idea of doing them with the Sauber, if possible. That'll be the second race next time. Well, tomorrow. Bob, can you pass the... Can you pass this dude, please? No, I guess not. Not yet, anyway. Well, it's time to make a pit stop. How much gas do I need? 34 was a good amount. Also, for some reason, he wasn't gonna pit until I told him to. 7. Okay, so I could do 28. Alright, 28, that's fine. Oh, Bob is almost out of fuel, but he can make this one lap. Hey, Kimo. Yeah, I'm still streaming for a little bit. Not too much longer, though, since I'm basically just wrapping this race up and then I'm calling it a stream. One fuel. Yeah, I definitely ran that on E. 34. We have more than enough fuel. But we'll let Bob do the rest of the race. Of course. 3 times speed. Let's go. It's not possible to complete airbase without using the thing to put enemies to sleep. You can use the crossbow sedate, but you can't miss your targets because that one dude will immediately run to the alarm and trip the alarm. Obviously, you are intended to use the drug spy for that. I do want to go into push, but if I do, Bob might spin out on a couple turns. Or I should say go into the grass. So this was a miniature endurance. I say that because of the 245 endurance earlier in this playthrough. We're nearing 140 here in race time. So. Alright. So, definitely took the lazy way out for this stream, but given the circumstances, I think it's understandable. Especially given I've already essentially won by the time I went into B-Specs, so I'm not that broken up over it. Aw, that sucks. Okay, that sucks because If any of these racers had just a few points less, I could just skip the rest of this tournament. Actually, you know what? I might be able to manipulate the... I might be able to do some manipulation here. If this doesn't work, I'll just load the save. Yeah, the next... Yeah, if I win one more race, then I'll win the tournament. But, I'm curious if I can win the tournament now. I think I can with some manipulation. If not, I'll just reset the console. No big deal. Okay, so... Oh, this is basically the endurance. Okay, so I need to bash the puke... I need to bash the puke yellow car out of the way. Or into, like, the abyss. I'm still gonna do the next 3 races with the F1, more than likely. If I can do that, I think I could just win the tournament now. I need to find the yellow car. Or puke green. And there's definitely ramming potential here. And a lot of ramming potential. God damn, turn! Fuck! I hate fresh tires, and I hate fuel, full tank. It takes 7,500 seconds to turn. Oh, but it's only 1 second. Fuck you. Fuck you and your it's only 1 second argument. That may as well be 500,000 years. Anyone who plays RTSs knows that. Hey, Blue Hedgehog Man. Good to see you here this evening. I seen you were streaming Legends ZA. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah. I know you do, for sure, Kimmo. I'm only doing this race at all just to try and ram the green dude off the road and into 3rd place. Come on, where is he? Fuck, he's way up there. Unfortunately, the yellow guy is the rabbit. So he's going to win. Or he's going to be in 2nd place. Get out of the way, Mr. Blue Car. Looking forward to completing the game nearly at the highest rank. I see. on! This is gonna be a hard race to win, actually. Like, when I do it next time. So they race fucking flawlessly, it seems. Oh my god, please. Please. Get off the road. Son of a bitch! Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna be able to fucking do this. I'm gonna have to do this legitimately, because that fuckface in the lead is just gonna completely cuck me. By one goddamn point. Yeah. Also, I have no idea if this is optimal for this track. My gear setting. Okay. That might work. I bumped the blue car into first place. I did it. That worked. I won the tournament by doing that. It's so horseshit that I can get away with that, but it works. This is every bit as bullshit as dead base cheese in StarCraft 2. I won the tournament by bumping a dude ahead of the second place dude. I mean, I'm gonna do the races legitimately anyway, but oh my god. Well, we could even do 2 Sauber showcases. If we wanted to. So, well, I did not expect to actually win the tournament today, but here we are. So, I think 2 might be a little overkill. So, next time we'll definitely do Mazda and Twin Ring with the F1. We'll probably do El Capitan with the F1 as well. I do want to do Green Hell with the Sauber. Because I want to see how... Because I want to see how fast I can go on the straight. Fuji and Suzuka would probably be done with the Sauber as well. Well, before I end, let me... Germany... Let me buy a whole bunch of tires for this thing. Because there ain't no way I'm gonna beat the F1s with stock tires. Oh, okay, well, it's racing medium. Yeah, sure, whatever. Okay, I think because this is a LMP, let's increase rigidity. It's so fucking OP. That's what I want to put to the test. But with straights, yeah, those F1s will have no chance on the straights. I also would kind of want to test this thing at Le Mans versus the F1s. Like, it'll just leave them in the dust. Sure, I guess we could use NOS. Just, by the way, I'm just making sure there's no other upgrades to purchase. Alright, 1135. Okay. And there's no other upgrades I can get. So now, let's do our oil change that we do. Alright, so now it's time to save the game. And I'm going to call it here. So, actually, before we do that, let's just hop back in the F1. I turned my saves to limited. That way the game only auto-saves when I change vehicles. So, alright. Next time we'll actually do those races legitimately. Maybe with a little B-spec help, but yeah. We're not just gonna do what we did last time. Or what we just did, so. So yeah, I will see you guys tomorrow for once, because I do want to finish this game. I'm at I have 1.1% and I'm left, and I'm hoping the last 6 races finish it off, so. Because I don't know where else it would be, so. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Farewell.